This is great news, isn't it, Andrew?
What a load of tosh. I'm sorry, what a load of tosh!
Aren't you excited by a Liberal Democrat proposal? Hooray! Business rates are going to be scrapped. That's all if the Lib Dems win the general election. It's in their manifesto and they believe this will revive the high street. Will it work? Is it a great idea from the Lib Dems, or are the Lib Dems more Lib Dums? That's what we're going to explore in this video. But first, let me tell you about the Baker Street Property Meet. It's the UK's #1 property investors networking meet, where you'll meet 300 property investors each month. Andrew and I host it.
I'm looking forward to this month, and I hope you are too. Don't forget, book your tickets early, we always sell out.
That's bakerstreetpropertymeet.com for more details of this month's event. See you there. Now, business rates are a pain in the backside, and there are all sorts of issues with business rates. People talk about it being unfair. There's no level playing field between online and offline businesses. It makes smaller traders, they have difficulty in competing with larger traders who also have massive online arms as well, and they can shoulder these business rates differently. It's also, in some areas, business rates can be as high as the actual rents. But the Lib Dems, Ed Davey, boss of the Lib Dems, say in his manifesto and flagship proposal that they're going to abolish it. Hooray! This is great news, isn't it, Andrew?
What a load of tosh. I'm sorry, what a load of tosh!
Aren't you excited by a Liberal Democrat proposal?
Well, no. I mean, how stupid is this? I mean, it really is stupid. They're going to scrap business rates, but they've said it's going to boost the high street. Now, if you scrap business rates, this film studio is in an office. We've got industrial warehouses, we've got storage distribution units. They all have business rates. So how are you going to define what the high street is? Is this a bit like having an article fault, right? That road there, we'll have that one. What a bonkers policy. They're going to lose a huge slug of taxation. And the argument is they're going to move it onto the landlord. Well, hang on. The landlord is going to incur the cost. And most leases say, like rent insurance, that we can pass the cost back to the tenant with an admin fee on top, which can be up to 10% of the value of the cost of the item incurred. So all it's going to do is put the cost back up even higher.
But Andrew, Ed Davey, the leader of the Liberal Democrats, says our tax reforms will slash the burden on struggling high street shop owners and instead ensure landowners pay their fair share. Only the Liberal Democrats have a credible plan for reforming business rates.
Incredible, that is. Absolutely incredible. Incredible that they could even call that a plan. I mean, do they not understand contract law and that parties enter contracts where if a landlord incurs a cost, the tenant has to settle it in the commercial arena? It just goes to show how this guy has got no Scooby-Doo how business operates.
It is nonsense. I mean, come on. I mean, why should the landlord pay a cost for the business operator?
Yeah.
The landlord is only going to add this business rates to the rent. Mm-hmm. On what planet does Ed Davey believe this will anyway rejuvenate the high street? But Andrew, you picked up on a good point there, because he's talking about the high streets, but he's talking about all business rates, and they affect other premises.
Absolutely. And they don't just affect other businesses. How do you define now? Because a used Class E is a business that can operate on the high street, but it could also be an office. It could also be a doctor's surgery. It could also be... It's such a wide use. So does that mean virtually anything in a used Class E? But I might have... let's put it like this. There are teaching academies on high streets with children in learning English and maths. But they're an F2, but they're on the high street. So how did they benefit or not? This is something that's not very well thought through. And another massive point about why this isn't thought through is, from a landlord and owner's perspective, if this is now a cost on your side of the fence and the rents, or it's not transferable to the tenant, that is going to reduce yields. If that reduces yields, that therefore reduces the values of property, and it potentially puts commercial landlords in breach of covenants, meaning the banks are going to repossess.
So Ed Davies' proposals would not do anything to revive the high street, but actually do something to diminish Mr. and Mrs. Average Joe's pension pot, because most pensions have investments in commercial property, and if those assets end up falling and being less attractive, that's going to have a massive impact on the average person in the street.
I personally think it's a dumb idea, a Lib dumb idea.
So what do you think about these ludicrous proposals? Do you think it'll be fairer? But I guess, who really cares? The Lib Dems don't have a hope in hell of forming a government. Join us at this month's Baker Street Property Meet. Don't bother coming if you're a Liberal Democrat though. But 300 plus property investors will be in the room, so see you guys there. The Baker Street Property Meet is the UK's largest and #1 property investors networking event. The property market is going through monumental change right now, and at Baker Street Property Meet we aim to keep you up to date with the latest tips and tricks and insider tactics to help you keep on top of your property investing game and succeed in these troubled economic times. The Baker Street Property Meet is fundamentally about networking, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. And at Baker Street we aim to connect you with the people to make your property journey a monumental success. There's no better place to be to further your property investment journey than the Baker Street Property Meet. So make sure you're here, you're connecting with myself and Andrew Roberts, our expert guest speakers, and 300 passionate property people each and every month. See you at the next meet. Get your spot at bakerstreetpropertymeet.com.